Welcome to the Parent Pathways podcast from Trinity Episcopal School in Richmond, Virginia. In each short podcast, a faculty or staff member will answer parents' most asked questions, tell you a little bit about themselves, and share what they love about being a part of the Trinity community. I'm your host, Betsy Reed. Welcome to our Parent Pathway podcast. We are here today with our head of school, Rob Short. We're here in Rob's office on location. We're in Morgan Hall, which is a building that is going to be under expansion and improvement this summer. And I wanted to get Mr. Short on today to talk a little bit about, for our community, to talk about what our Morgan Hall expansion is all about. Tell us about the background of it. What can we expect in this building that's going to kind of blow up a little bit?
Okay, great question. Glad to answer it. And kind of a fun fact, a lot of people don't know that underneath the library is a crawl space that's never been finished. When we did this building in 1999, we didn't have the funding to do the whole downstairs. Mm-hmm. And it's a significant amount of space. So if you think about downstairs being able to double the library footprint, that's the area that we'll be digging out, reinforcing, and creating some spaces that will help the programs that are growing and developing at Trinity, which I hope to be able to talk about in this a little bit later. But it's exciting. You know, we've always had a dark kind of basement underground of Morgan Hall. Mm-hmm. Not very attractive spaces down there, but we get a lot with a little. And now we'll be letting light into the bottom of Morgan Hall, creating spaces for kids to do amazing things, and all hopefully over summer and maybe a little bit beginning of next fall.
Right.
So really exciting.
So we're expanding. We're going to have some classrooms down there.
Yes.
Space for a robotics team.
Yep.
Library is going to be expanded. We're going to have
upstairs.
Yes. We're going to have a little bit of this. I don't know. Can we call it a piazza?
Oh, we have a prop
plaza. Here. I want to show a little bit about what we're talking about. So if you are a parent kind of driving in, it's going to look a little bit different after our work on this summer. Rob, what is this exciting little building right here?
So we want this area to be very active and engaging for all students to do real science, real math, real computer science and programming, and even robotics, but also a place to gather. All of you that are watching this know how important it is for us to be out and about in the courtyard, bonding with teachers and friends. And that's the other advantage to Morgan Hall, is that it's close to the courtyard. Mm-hmm. So we try to center everything on the courtyard that we can versus putting buildings further out where people feel maybe more isolated. Mm-hmm. We really like those moments where people cross paths and see each other and get to know each other really well. So in this courtyard, you'll have kids that are just studying or, talking to their friends, but also a building, you'll see this later online when we launch, that has solar panels and has battery power. Wind turbines. Kids can experiment with the pros and cons of green energy. Maybe even a living wall where you plant plants and look at how pollinators work. Eventually, robots that water plants and machine learning that will tell us what kind of pests are killing our flowers or other plants that we put in there. So there's a lot of things we can do at an educational basis to weave the campus into classroom and blend the boundaries between the traditional desk and whiteboard and their computers with the outside world. So it's very exciting.
Sounds like a place. We have a great plan for it, but there could be all kinds of growth in there as well.
Yeah, and even for parents, hopefully a quality of life improvement, because right now we have a drop off on Pitaway.
Yes.
This could be take some relief off of that drop off, which we're hopeful for, with the sidewalk, if you notice from the picture, and also safer for the kids to cross from the main lot into the building.
Okay. Well, the drawings look really cool. I know you're excited to share that with our community. I heard there's going to be maybe a cafe coffee situation. Any truth that we could be partnering with a major coffee company, Rob?
Well, another fun fact, Betsy, teachers and students alike love to spread rumors. I might be checkmated into a little bit of a coffee shop down there. That wasn't the original plan, but you know what? It's educational. If you're running a coffee maker, that's going to take some electricity.
That's right.
If we kept it to be a building that was off grid, kind of like a
Mhm.
tiny home. Kids will learn about energy consumption
Mhm.
and maybe even innovate new plans, or this is just me being facetious, but put a bicycle down there and they can get us PE credit
Now
while they
that's
generate
not a bad
electricity.
idea. I can see some kids wanting to do
If
that.
they really want their cafe, then maybe they have to ride the bike for an hour to
Oh
get
gosh.
the watts together to make it happen.
I
That'd be
like
hilarious.
I
And
like that. I can see that being one of the, data collection pieces, maybe
actually,
for kids who are doing IAs.
yeah, and today's data day for science. So they're out there doing all kinds of things all over campus.
Mhm.
They're in the faculty lounge, they're outside, they're in the labs. This will be just another area to investigate
Right.
and experiment.
Rob, tell us about the timeline for this project.
So we have a pretty aggressive timeline because we don't like to be offline with our buildings. May 1st or the first week of May, we anticipate beginning the project, and we'll make accommodations for the library to be elsewhere.
Mhm.
And as you know, AP and IB students start to drift off campus during that month.
Mhm.
So our population actually goes down, not
Okay.
up, which will be helpful. And then over summer, while there's just a skeleton staff here, hopefully get 80, 90% of the way done, maybe even 100% done. But even if they don't finish the downstairs, which we didn't show you renderings of, but we have, with the robotics lab, the innovation lab, and expanded photo lab, expanded academic resource center,
Mhm.
nurse's office, extra classroom. There's a lot of stuff down there. Even if that's not online right away, we don't have to have it. And then we can gradually get in there in August and September timeline.
Okay.
That's what the builder tells us.
Okay. Well, we're gonna have fingers crossed for good
Yeah,
weather.
lots of fingers crossed.
Lots of good plans. When you think about all the things that we have going on in this expansion, what are you most excited for our students to experience?
I'm most excited about them being excited, but with any program, one of the things that we always try to do is build off of enthusiasm we have now.
Mhm.
We've got a robotics club that has gone to Worlds. We live in a nation that is filled with people who invent and design. It is a huge part of our economy now. And it's not all about tech. Innovation is often thought of as the phone in your pocket or the computer, but we have to innovate in everything as we invent new things like the rise of AI, data analytics, new ways of doing business, new ways of working with people. We even had that innovation of words back in the last fall, I guess it was,
That's
or
right.
2 falls ago, where we invented words to describe things.
It's everywhere.
Humanity thinks of innovation as being Silicon Valley, but it's everywhere and it's exciting. So we want our kids to go off well prepared to reshape work when they get out of college and see how creativity weaves into all of that. And also ethical frameworks. How do you build something that not just humanity thinks they want, but something that can elevate them to the next level and make people not just more efficient or effective, but also more inspired.
All right. Well, we are looking forward to breaking ground in May on this
Absolutely.
expansion and seeing all the things that the kids and the adults on campus are going to get out of the new space.
Yep.
Thanks so much for spending time and checking out the renderings and maybe dreaming about the coffee shop. But in the meantime, just thinking about how different ways we can serve our kids.
Yeah. Thank you, Betsy. It was
All right.
a pleasure to be here.
Yep. Thank you.